Today, I am thrilled to talk about my mentee, Patricia, for her $27,000 salary increase and bonus that she earned through strategies in the Mentor Me Accelerator program. Patricia is an amazing mentee who has a lot of expertise in education. She's worked in the field for years, but before working with me, was really at a place in her career where she was struggling to position herself as an expert, right? She had the years of experience, she had the degrees, she had the credentials, she had this passion and commitment to the work, but she was really struggling with positioning herself as an expert and really getting her employer to see her expertise for what it was, right? And to pay her at the level that she desired. And she joined the Mentor Me Accelerator with the express purpose of Ashley, help me make more money and have more impact in my career. And as a mentor, I committed to do just that. I am so excited to welcome Patricia to this community and have her share her story. I think that she is in the building. Patricia, welcome. I'm so glad to have you here.
Okay, awesome.
I can hear you perfectly. I'm so thrilled to connect with you. You know, I have the opportunity of serving so many women, but it's always a pleasure to serve, a fellow colleague in higher education. I serve a lot of women in higher education, and you're one of those colleagues. And just to know that you trusted me, right, with your expertise, to know that you trusted me to help you advance your career.
No, thank you so much. I'm excited about this opportunity to share this story because it is amazing, because I had to amaze myself every day that I'm here in this new position. So
yes. Yes, you did it. I always say that Mentor Me works when you work it, honey. And you are a beautiful, shiny example of just that it works when you work it. So let's get down to it, Patricia. I'd love to start by inviting, my mentees who've seen so much success in my programs to kind of just think back to where they were before they made the decision to invest in their career development. So can you talk a little bit about, what was going through your mind? Where were you at in your career? What were some of your frustrations or annoyances, before you joined the Mentor Me Accelerator?
Oh, no problem. So before I joined this marvelous program, I was at a point where I was frustrated because I was in my career nearly a decade. Positions were flying above me. I wasn't getting tapped to, in those positions. However, they knew that I can do the work, right? So I was able to do all this work, but I wasn't getting paid for it. I was just, and I'm like, okay, I have to see where my value is. Like, I had to take a step back because I was pressing on. I always thought, like, just do double the work, they will finally see you. And I was asking too much for permission. And I had to pause on all that. And I had to really think of myself because I was in a position, I'm a mom and a wife. I wanted to do more with my family, but I was feeling like I was trapped because I had to do more hours with the job in order to get, more money, whether it's overtime, but not getting any recognition with the title, any recognition of just giving me some professional development so I can finally get to that level. So yes, it was time.
Yeah. Yeah. And, one of the things that you said that I think will resonate with the people who are watching this, if you've been in a field where your value isn't recognized, you're not compensated for your value, you're not getting higher level pay, you're not getting higher level titles, promotion opportunities, everybody else seems to be getting tapped. You're looking around,
exactly.
You're like, oh, they got promoted, they got a new role, oh, they've been elevated, but that's not happening for you, right? Because I know so many professional women, especially at your level, Patricia, where they've been working in the field 7 years, 10 years, 15 years. And they're like, I should be a director by now. I should be an executive director.
Correct.
I should be an AVP. I should be leading in this organization. And here I am still stuck in a mid-level role where I'm not driving impact and I'm not making the kind of money that I know I can command, right? And you talked about the fact that, you were like, okay, well, let me just put my head down and work harder. Maybe you had mentors in the past who were like, well, you just got to grind it out. You just got to put your head down. You just got to do the work. And you just looked around. I was like, no, that can't be my continued strategy. Like, I can't keep putting my head down. Yeah, because your story is so relatable, Patricia. So many women before working with me are like, like, I guess I'm just supposed to like stay here and try to suffer it out, right? Like I'm just supposed to put my head down and hope somebody notices me, hope somebody taps me, right? And so thank you for sharing that, because while that is a painful story, it is very relatable. And before working with me, so many women experience that. So I want to talk about how you first came to learn about me and my work, right? I always love for women to, talk about how they came to find me. Some women find me through my podcast. Some women find me here through Instagram. Some women are checking out my YouTube channel. But you actually got to meet me in person in a professional development. So can you talk a little bit about first, like how you came to know me individually, and then how you came to kind of do your research about Mentor Me programs?
Yeah, it was a 360 hour, or I should say 180, maybe 360. So yeah, I was in this spot where I needed to move. I went to a conference that I was not supposed to go to. It was a higher, for higher educators, student developers, student success managers, and I was like, I applied to that conference at the last minute. I think it was an institute, and was accepted at the crack of the dawn. I mean, I was at the application at the last minute. Went to the conference, and it was changed my life, because then I knew it was time for several reasons. One, I saw people that were younger than me that were in higher positions. I was like, hold on. What's going on here? And I mean, they were successful, but I love their energy and I love their spirit, but I also knew I can be there too. And what happened? So that was a reflection. Second, I think I end up taking a picture with you, met you in person. You talked about your program. So it settled for a little bit when I went back to my hotel, and I was like, okay, maybe this is it. But as many people know, there are people who put themselves out as coaches and not really coaching, right? So it took a little hesitation.
Yep.
But then it came into a swarm. I think I took a picture with you, highlighted it, and then someone back home, because this was a conference out of state, back home was like, oh, that's my coaching career coach who just helped me get the promotion. I'm like, hold on. Like, are you serious? So she's like, yes, you need to meet her. So I end up having a nice conversation with you, told you where I'm at or whatever. And it was the first time ever someone filtered information that was just for me, right? Because sometimes we get coaches that just have this blanket information. And sometimes it's good, sometimes it doesn't apply to you. But you heard my story, you was patient with my story, and then I was like, okay, I got a testimonial back at home. I'm hearing her right now who's like filtering out what is going on with my story, and things just came into fruition. So I came back home, I still thought about it because there's that hesitation in the back. And then I think it was another promotion that someone got at my job. And then
and you like, oh my God, like how many more people gonna get promoted before I need to make moves?
I was like, you know what? This is something for me. I'm a spiritual person, so this was something I was like, God is speaking to you. I gave you everything that you needed, where you got a testimonial from a close mentor, a friend. You have this person who filtered the story. She told you how she can help. She was professional and she was relatable. And I was like, okay, I'm jumping. And I jumped, and and look where I'm at.
Look at where you're at. Yes, ma'am. Look at where you're at. I love that story. And what's true is that so many women come to me through referrals from other women. They come to me through lives like this. They see you, Patricia, with your glasses and your locks, and they're like, you know what? I look like her. Oh, I'm in that field too. Oh, I have that story too, right? They said relatable. And they're like, yes, I can work with Ashley, and Ashley can drive results in my career because I saw what she saw done for Patricia. For those of you who don't know Patricia and I helped one of Patricia's close friends and sorority sisters secure more than a $50,000 salary increase, right? So if it wasn't enough to meet me in person, she saw me help her friend secure a $50,000 salary increase. I helped her secure a $27,000 salary increase. Girl, you're watching this. What other
get the coins and get the strategies.
Literally, like, what other examples do you need? You talking about you doing your
Exactly.
research. Girl, the proof is right here. The proof is right here. And so I really just want to encourage women to take action, right? Like I love what you said about the fact that, you know, when I was talking to you, Patricia, and you were sharing your career story with me, and we were talking about where the gaps were. I was talking about ways that I could serve you, ways that I can help you, strategies that you needed to be successful. It wasn't, oh, here's a template, or yeah, I'll look at your LinkedIn and share some ideas. It's like, no, I'm working specifically and targeted with you to really help you advance your career in meaningful ways. So let's get into the nitty gritty, because I think that, you know, oftentimes, like you said, you know, everybody is a coach, right? And they can help you, right? But I'd love for you to share with the folks who are watching this, the folks who are listening to this. Can you speak specifically about some of the most impactful strategies that I taught you to help you secure this $27,000 salary increase, right? Like, can you reflect back on some of the sessions or some of the specific strategies that really unlock things for you?
I would say 2 strong sessions, you know, and this is coming for someone who I thought I was a resume person. I thought I was good. My resume was getting passed, and I would say that first session, well, it wasn't the first session, but the session where we had to do a strategy and kind of increase the language. I forgot the term at the
Yeah, like we call it skill articulation, or your ability to speak to your expertise.
Articulation, because I was like very, my language was very like on the surface level. You know, it was probably like, oh, did customer service or worked with this student. You know, it wasn't impactful. And once you stated and you gave that example of what that is, and taking a couple of my responsibilities and moving it up, I was like, whoa, this is a game changer, because I looked at my resume and was like, oh, I'll hire this person. You know, it was like,
you're like, oh, is this me? Is this me?
I was impressed by it, because it was no lie detected on my resume. It was just the way the vocabulary and that articulation was presented in this document.
Yes.
And that's when I was like, oh, wow, that really blew me away, because that resume that was passed on before, it immediately was like captured, you know. So this is the same document, but the skill articulation is a game changer. So for those who think they're like me, was good with resumes, and you're like, oh, I can just, update this. It's nothing like that section.
Yes. I thank you for sharing that, because I think that a lot of people, it's like resumes and interview strategy. Everybody think they're good at interviews. You know, I got a good personality. If I can just get in the door, then I can woo them. But I'm like, girl, no, not in this economy, not in this job market. You need more than personality and and a can-do attitude. Girl, you got to go in there being very clear on the problem that you solve in the organization, and be able to demonstrate that you've solved that problem over and over and over again over the course of your career, right? That's really what's going to make you stand out as a candidate. And I love what you said, that once we fix the skill articulation, right? Once we fix your ability to speak to your expertise in a way that would actually make employers take notice, no longer was it Patricia's resume is getting passed over. No longer was it, oh, well, we'll go with somebody else. It was like, oh my gosh, let's get it. Like, let's talk to Patricia. Let's call her in for an interview.
Correct.
We want to learn more about her. Let's get in front of her, right? They were coming after you. It was no longer, you hoping and praying that somebody see you. It was like, here's the demonstrated expertise I have. Here's the problem that I solve, and I'm willing to solve that problem for your organization. So I love that you talked about that. So you talked about skill articulation. You talked about, resume. Any other sort of strategies that you remember really stood out to you as you
it was two more. It was really the statement, the I am statement. The I am statement is powerful, because it gives you a time to reflect, because sometimes we're so busy, and especially me as a wife and a mom, and I take care, of other community activities. Sometimes we take things for granted of what we do and what we learn and how we grow, and we take all that for granted. So for you to give that individual, for me, that space to say, really take the time to know, who you are, like what skills, like what are you trying to be, your roadmap. I amaze myself every day because I have to look back. Even I graduated from the program. I look back to that I am statement all the time. Like,
Yes.
you are one amazing woman. like it really gives you a confidence booster and really gives you that outlook that, you know, you can do amazing things. You can go to the top in your career if you want to. Yes.
Yes. I love that. I love that. I think the I am statement is so powerful. And, you know, before working with me, I think sometimes when women come into the program, they're like, okay, Ashley, I'm ready to hit the ground running. Teach me how to job search, you know, like update my materials. I'm like, whoa. We don't even know what you're good at. You don't even know what you're not good at. You don't know what you value, right? Like we need to do this groundwork, this reflective work, right? And that's why the Mentor Me program is so successful, is because we don't just hop into, you know, recruitment strategies or updating your LinkedIn. We're going to spend some time working on you. What are you good at? What are you an expert in? How are you articulating that expertise? What problem do you solve in the market right now? Like we're doing that work at the front end. So everything else is really accelerated in the program because we took the time to do that meaningful work. So I love that you shared that. So let's talk about the celebration of it all, right? A $27,000 salary increase. This includes a salary increase and a bonus, a higher level role. Can you share with the folks who are watching, you know, like how you leverage those strategies that you talked about, the I am statement, you know, speaking to your expertise, your materials, how that worked in this actual job search, right? Where you were like, because I know things moved for you pretty quickly once we started to update those materials and employers were calling. So can you talk a little bit about like how that process moved for you?
Yeah, so you know, once I put that cover letter and I changed my LinkedIn, you know, or updated and put the resume together. Once employers called, because I actually had a chance to go to either two other employers that was outside of my organization. And so I had a chance to learn how to negotiate. One thing I learned in this program. And the other strategy was to really ask the questions to make the employer think of how they're going to best utilize me and how I'm going to be so impactful in my job. So this is not a job where I'm just coming and going. This is a job that's going to sharpen my leadership skills and help the organization to move its mission and vision. So one thing that the strategy that helped me along with that was the interview process. So no longer I was, you know, taking those answers and just say, yes, I can do this and I have done that. I was actually bringing forth the work I have done, how it impacted already. That's something that you learn in this Mentor Me program, is to be actionable, be impactful, be forward thinking of how you're going to impact the organization. And that strategy was like mind blowing, but also it was the question, the time, that space where you have to ask the question back. Have them think. It was one question you gave me. I written down. I don't have it here with me, but I asked that particular question. One person was like, "We ain't supposed to ask those questions. We supposed to have you on your toes."
They're like, we're supposed to ask the hard questions.
Exactly. And it made them think of how they're going to best utilize me, to the point where they wanted to grow my position. So it was already having that positive thinking conversation. So it made me feel really comfortable leaving there, that okay, they're using terms to say when you come and me in this position versus you know, I'll call you, you know, we'll wait. It was very positive and forward thinking.
Yes, absolutely. So what Patricia is talking about is a strategy I teach in session 5. It's called interview and salary negotiation. And the strategy is around, one, positioning yourself as a problem solver, right? Like the Mentor Me method is that we are not, you know, hoping and praying that someone sees us and, you know, picks us, you know, for a job, right? This is not a pick me strategy. We're talking about how we can solve existing problems in industry, right? And helping employers see us as that problem solver. So I taught Patricia that strategy. And then when she was going in interviews, it was easy for her to say, I see that, you know, on this job description, or I see, you know, as I evaluated your organization, you have these existing problems. And I have demonstrated experience solving those kinds of problems over the course of my career. And I look forward to doing that for your organization as well, right? She was able to position herself as a person in the organization already. They wanted to gobble her up because she had already spoke about the vision that she could provide, right? The strategy, the impact that she could provide even in the interview. The second thing that I want to highlight here is that one of the things that I'm very clear about in my programs as a mentor is that it's not just about if we're a good fit for them, but are they a good fit for us, right? And so I teach my mentees how to ask critical questions of interview, in interviews, with the hiring manager, with the search committee, so you can really assess if this role is aligned with your skill set, right? So you can really assess if this role is aligned with what you desire in your career, right? And like, how many of you need to do a better job of screening the organizations that you want to work for? You're like, my whole focus is, will they pick me? But I haven't ever been focused on, will I pick them? Are they a good fit for me? If you like Ashley, I've never thought about fit for me. I've never thought about my values. I don't know the right questions to ask these employers to really assess if, I'm gonna regret this decision in 90 days, right? I think that for a lot of women, they don't really think about the full picture, the full assessment. So thank you for highlighting that, because I think that is a game changer about Mentor Me programs. I'm very concerned about the longevity of your career development, not just get the next job, get a bag. I mean, we certainly about the money, but we want to make sure that we have long-term longevity in our career, and we can do things that really matter to us, that are meaningful for us. And that means that we have to interview these employers as well. So Patricia, just a couple more questions before we wrap. One of the things that, I think that when it comes to mentorship, people, like you talked about before, anybody can call themselves a career coach, right? And so they pass out templates online. They sell it for, $29.99 on the internet. Can you talk a bit about, the personalized aspect of the Mentor Me Accelerator program? Can you speak to, how we were really focused on customizing a career plan specifically for you, and just how you felt about our relationship in the program,
I felt
if you felt supported.
So supported. So one, it was back to the resume, right? It wasn't very much this, like I said, this blanket feedback. Like, it was detailed. If I was in a classroom, it was like, you ever had those professors who's ready for like the remarks, the comments or whatever? Yes. But as a woman to woman, it's like, learn that support and know that she's sharpening those skills, because when that feedback came back, it's like, oh, okay, ooh, all right. But I mean, like I said, I'm here, right? So the feedback was so personalized, and it also gave us that connection, because you wanted to know what are you trying to say? Where are you going? So it wasn't like you had like these templates and you're like, just assert this in here. It was more like, okay, this is where you're trying to go, and you're so quick on your toes on how to articulate that. Like, I will say, this is what I did, this is what so you're doing this, and I'm like, oh, okay. So I think that was really great from past experiences with coaches, is that you was very personalized in the resume. The other part I liked was just the cohesive support group that you made, right? So I had a chance to meet like 5 or 6, 7 great women every week who I learned some things. And again, it's that sharpening that tool. So it was almost a sister support circle of all backgrounds. And I mean backgrounds not just from race or industry, just the experience. It was all backgrounds, and you learn from them too, of like what they went through. And you all, it's a support system. But just in that group, the time that you take with each one of us, and we sit and listen, and we sit and encourage each other, I think that is the most amazing experience I had in a coaching, in a coaching experience.
Oh, thank you for Patricia. Thank you for saying that. Like, I am so intentional about the women that I serve. Your careers matter greatly to me, and my commitment to providing you with high-level, individualized feedback to help you make more money and have more impact in your career is critical. So I'm so glad that like my intention about how I coach and mentor was felt by you, right? One of my mentees. I'm so proud of that. So thank you for sharing that. I'm accepting new mentees right now. So if you are a high achieving professional woman who wants to make more money and have more impact, I invite you to join Mentor Me programs right on my website at mentor-me.org. That's mentor-me.org. So I do want to invite you to schedule a call with me today. That initial call is at no cost. It's an opportunity, just like Patricia and I did, for me to get to know you, for me to understand what's going on in your career, what's working well in your career, where you feel stuck in your career, so that I can quickly support you in advancing your career. So I guess the last question, two final questions. Yeah. One, there's an investment, right? There's an investment for career advancement, especially when you're working with an expert level coach, right? So Patricia, can you talk a little bit about how you were processing that investment, right? You were saying, like, I'm overworked in this job, I'm underpaid, I don't feel valued here. And the idea of investing in your own career development can be really scary for people. So how did you shift from, I'm on the fence, I'm thinking about it, I'm watching Ashley help other people, but I haven't invested. So you know what? I need to make this investment.
Yeah, I think the investment came after that consultation that we had. You able to answer all the questions, and I had to really think about it, because yes, I was already underpaid. So I'm like, oh my goodness, how I'm going to really make this investment and do this? Is it worth it? But like I said, everything was connecting, and this was the first time ever for a career coach. Everything was personalized to me. I was able to take those answers and take that feedback just from the consultation and be like, okay, so yes, I prayed on it. I was tired of where I was, and I wanted something greater. And I just, like I say, I just jumped and was like, I have to make this investment, because, in life, we spend money on everything else that does not give us a ROI, return on investment.
Period.
Period. I was like, I really think I'm going to get an ROI with this. And let me tell you, this was my first time taking a family vacation. That was one of the reasons why I jumped ship. So, and like June and July, I'm out of here. But, but I wouldn't have that, right, if I did not make the investment. So you get that ROI. I'm now able to just book a family trip. I didn't have that before. Yes.
Yeah, I love that. And I mean, when I think about the investment, Patricia, like, you made 5 times more than what you invested in the program. I'm right. The investment, the investment to work with me and Mentor Me programs, typically is less than $5,000. Patricia made 5 times, 5 times, Patricia, the investment. Right? You got your return on investment in less than 2 months. In less than 2 months, Patricia invested in herself through the Mentor Me Accelerator program, and in less than 2 months made a 5-time return on her investment. Where they do that at, Patricia? There is no
you'll be stuck right there. Like, this is really, it really uplifts you. Like, it's more than just a career coach, right? Like I said, you get a support circle, a sisterhood, and also just feedback that can just take you with your career. That's another thing about this program, is that it doesn't have an end cap, right? It teaches you how to set up yourself even when you're in your career. So there was tips that she had that I was able to be like, okay, I'm going to be proactive in that in my 90 days. So I can keep my job, right? The investment is so worth it, because you're getting not only the tips, you're not only getting like a remarkable resume, but like I said, it's a confidence booster. It's for you to even reveal who you are as a person, and professionally and personally. Yeah. So I had to jump ship, and I'm so glad I did it.
I'm so glad you did too. And I appreciate what you said about, like, this is the first time in your career that you've been able to book a family vacation, no holds bars, take the time off, not worry about if you're going to get fired because you took time off, not worried about if you have the money in the bank account to pay, for the trip. You were able to do that with ease, right? Because you have more money in the bank. You have a role that you enjoy. Your organization values you, right? And I think that, of course, I love to celebrate women making more money and having more impact. Like, that's my jam. I'm screaming on the rooftop. She got the job, right? A $27,000 salary increase increase ain't nothing to sneeze at. But what I love, Patricia, is that you talk about that I'm able to take a vacation with my family. And the money enables that. But like, I'm just so glad that now I can prioritize my family. I can spend more time with them. I'm not working 15 hours a day in a job that I hate, right? Like the money matters, but the money is an enabler. The money allows it, the money is a vehicle to get the things that you want, right? And so, you know, I just encourage you to just honor Patricia's story, to like listen to what she's saying, because what she's saying is that I invested in myself through the Mentor Me Accelerator program. I got 5 times the return on investment in less than 2 months. And the $27,000 salary increase and bonus allowed me to prioritize my family. So you talk about, well, I need to prioritize my family. I need to prioritize this for my family. Well, that means you need to prioritize your career. Because in order for you to prioritize your family, you need to do work that you enjoy, to be in a career that you enjoy, to have release time. Like it's a vehicle. Money and career are a vehicle. So I'm so glad you got in the car with me, Patricia. I'm so glad you jumped in the ship, you know, because I think that like you see, your thoughts are bigger than today. You're right. When you joined the Mentor Me Accelerator, you weren't just thinking about my next job. You know, I got to get out of here. You were thinking long term, how can I get close to someone who can help me advance my career? One of my mentors often says that proximity is powerful, right? Being in proximity with the right people at the right time is powerful. And so if you know you need to be in proximity with women like me and Patricia, if you need to be in community with women like me and Patricia, I invite you to join Mentor Me programs. Now, again, you can do so right on my website at mentor-me.org. The first step is to schedule a call with me. I do have availability. I think I have some availability today and tomorrow and next week on Monday. So do schedule that call. Patricia, is there anything you want to say to the woman who's on the fence? Maybe she's been following me for a couple weeks, a couple months. She's thought about it. But like you, she's going back and forth. You know, you said you were like, well, I met her, but then I thought about it. And then I'm my friend and I thought about it. What would you say to the woman who's on the fence today? Or, you know, is considering
I would say,
unsure?
you know, make the time for you. Like, this is you season. I think like Issa Rae will say, this is me season, you know. This is your season. And with your season, sometimes you can't always grow on your own. You're gonna need that support of people who already have done it. You know, and I just feel that this is the program that will help you get there, because it's not just elevating to the next job. It's elevating your career that can elevate how you want to see your values. All that is a full circle. All that comes together in this program. So I will say, stop worrying about like others and be like, are you, you know, and they're like naysayers. It's your season. And I learned in 2023, I made a deal with Ashley, like wherever we want to start our new year resolution, put yourself first. As women, we're always at the point where we're like, I gotta wait for this, I gotta wait for that, I gotta wait for that. Take that energy bus and put yourself first. Be the conductor of your own journey, and just move and elevate and uplift and join the circle. I'm not paid to come here to do this. Like, I'm here to really talk about my experience, because sometimes I shock myself of the short term of this program. I never had a career coach in the past that elevated me. It was a lot of templates, and it felt like I had to do it on my own, but I paid, you know? So this is the time that I invested. I saw the fruits of my labor, and I came out with not just knowledge, but a support circle and a plan for my roadmap.
Yes. Yeah. I think that what you talk about is powerful, because this isn't just a point in time. I always tell my mentees, I'm not just a mentor in session. Girl, I'm your mentor always. I will be following up, right? I will be following up. I'm on top of you, Patricia, right? And so, you know, I support my mentees through starting their new role in their first 90 days. I have a number of continuation programs where my mentees continue to work with me so they continuously feel supported. This is not a one and done. This is a relationship that we're building to help you advance your life and your career long term. So, Patricia, again, thank you for your vulnerability. Thank you for your willingness to share your expertise. This was relatable. I know the girls are so connected to your story, and this helps them unlock their own potential and invest in themselves to get the help that they need. Again, Mentor Me programs are open right now. I'm accepting new mentees, so apply to the program today. Patricia, thank you again for your time. So grateful for you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.